Good morning, everybody. Pastor Stitch, Narrow Path Christian Church, BC, Bay City, Michigan. Welcome to the Biker Devotional. Today is February 17th, 2025, and we are looking at Proverbs chapter 17. And we're going to look at verse 12. Proverbs 17, verse 12, and it says this: Better for a man to meet a bear robbed of her cubs than a fool in his foolishness. You know, sometimes we make things way too simple in our lives, and other times we make things way too complicated in our lives. Simply thinking and speaking, meeting a mother bear that is missing its cubs or thinks that you're in between her and her cub, guarantee she's not going to run away from you. I don't know. Maybe you've seen the commercial about the things that are really cool. And like number 24 is a bear that's more afraid of you than you are of it, right? Well, the reality is bears, they aren't going to interact with you in the woods if they don't have to, but don't ever get between a mama bear and her cub, because she will do whatever it takes to get to the cub, and it's her instinct. It's what it is, and you will probably get mauled. And it's not because she's looking at you for food; she's looking to protect her cub. That's a really bad place to be, isn't it? Finding yourself in the middle, in between the protector and the one that's being protected. Now, I could go on 1,000 different directions from there. But it's better to be in that place than to be around a fool and agree with them. You see, that's what that literally means. It's better for a man to meet a bear robbed of her cub than a fool in his foolishness. Literally, it's better to be between the mama bear and the baby bear. You have more of a chance than if you get yourself around a fool and start agreeing with him. Man, how am I going to protect myself from that? Because let's be honest, I've been the fool for years, and people were around me, so I put them in that position. And the reality is, I have so much to learn. How do I know they're fools? Well, it comes down to this. Really simple. The more time I spend in the Word, the more I can recognize the foolishness of the world. You know, when I am in agreement with foolishness, that means that I am on my way to destruction. I have a better chance standing between a mama bear and a baby bear than I do coming out of that situation. The good news is, and this is the most amazing part of it, once I recognize that, the atonement is taken care of. I can confess it. The sacrifice has been made, and I've been forgiven, and I don't have to look back at it. You know, I was reading the altar requirements in Leviticus today about what sins needed sacrifices. And just not knowing you committed a sin and then finding out you had to go offer a sacrifice. And it's interesting that in the moment of agreeing with a fool, you probably don't realize it. But the moment you do, you have the opportunity. God gave us the way to reaffirm our covenant with Jesus Christ. Say, He is my Lord and Savior. He already paid that price. I am going to change, and I'm going to live right. We have to recognize the cost of that sacrifice. The people in the Old Testament, they had a legitimate cost that they had to pay every time they did something stupid that required them to make a sacrifice for their sins. It cost them an animal that they couldn't afford to lose. You're not going to go out and commit adultery or go touch a dead animal that you shouldn't touch on purpose every day, because you know that that would cost you a sheep every day, and you can't afford that, right? That's one difference to why they were able to recognize their sin in a different way. You and I don't recognize the cost. We don't recognize the cost of that sacrifice because it's given by grace. It's a freely given gift to us. But it cost in a very dear way. And I need to remember that today. Better for a man to meet a bear robbed of her cub than to agree with a fool. It's an important thing to remember for me today. I love y'all. Hope you have a great day. God bless.